Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, today we're gonna be talking about how you actually become a good player in Dota 2. Alright, so if you want to be a good player, I'm just gonna say the most important thing is that you have to try your best every single game and listen to whatever your teammates has to say. And before you make any judgments on whether it's right or wrong, if they're flaming you, you can just mute them. But if they're actually giving you some kind of feedback and they're not just straight up saying pulling shit up their ass, listen and see if it actually makes sense. If it makes sense, you can try it, right? Let's say if you're like a Herald player and someone tells you to do something and then you're like, no, that's wrong because you don't think that's right. Well, what you can do is like maybe a different person like say the same thing. What you can do is you can try it, right? If you're not sure, if you obviously if they say like yo go mid and feed, obviously that's wrong. But if they say something like buy this item or do this, right? And maybe if anything, since you play so many games anyway, the worst case scenario is that you actually listen to them and you do it and you see if you win or not. If you lose the game, by all means, never listen to that suggestion again. Let's say you're playing Bristleback and so you're playing against a fucking Slark, okay? And someone tells you to buy a Halberd and you just refuse to because you think Halberd is a shit item against Slark. Hint, hint is one of the best fucking items against Slark because you just Halberd him when he tries to hit you, so you don't give him stacks because he just wants to hit you for stacks. That's it, right? Bristleback just like super tanky, so you hit him like 50 billion times, you get like 50 billion agi. But let's say you're like, yo, make Halberd, right? Worst case scenario, you listen to them and you lose the game. Okay, by all means, if someone tells you to buy Halberd against Slark, never fucking buy it again. Or if the game was obviously bad, like you will know, like even you playing, you will feel like, oh, I can Halberd or Slark. You can't do shit to me anymore, right? But do it once and see how it goes. And if it's good, just keep doing it. If it's bad, worst case scenario, you lose one game and now you actually know whether it's good or bad. And if you're playing so many games, one game really doesn't matter. But always have positive mental attitude. Like I was playing this one game here where I was a Wraith King and this guy actually played pretty well. I added him. He looked like a Smurf to me. He was like playing Volker. He was playing like a god, playing really well. Dominated Urson lane. This guy's mostly a support player, but he did really well, right? He did good stuff. I mean, he bought Midas, but he did good still. But then I found him in my other game, and he just fucking griefed me. So he just doesn't. His excuse is that he doesn't play support. So he just abandoned my lane, and tried to gank with Axe and Sapphire to kill Monkey King. And you know how fucking Axe and Monkey King goes. The Axe doesn't do shit to Monkey King. So if you try to gank Monkey King with fucking 3 heroes and your Axe, and they have a fucking support CM, you're just gonna fucking feed. And they have a Jug offlane. Like the Jug offlane is so fucking bad. If anyone just comes, you just kill Jug. Like honestly, Axe should be cutting waves, and these two guys should just be coming bot with me. We can't even try lane. Like I will lose XP, but I don't care. But he essentially just fed and just didn't do anything this whole game. He just straight up fed down mid and just lost like 3 lanes for us. Because he fed mid, so Invoker got advantage on Storm. Abandoned my lane 2v1, so lost my lane, and fed top essentially made a bad call, and he basically blamed it on Axe for not helping him. Like I don't know. Basically, you just can't do this. Like this guy's actually a really good player. He knows how to play Invoker, right? He has his mechanical skill, but he just does not know how to fucking have a good mental attitude, I guess. Like this guy's MMR will probably be like Divine 5, maybe even fucking Immortal. Like who knows? But at least Divine player if he just stops doing shit like this, you know? Like I don't care if you're not a support player, you roll Q for all 5 roles. Like I'm low, either you Q for your roll, you roll Q. When you wanna like actually get better at the game, you have to learn how to play other roles. It doesn't matter if your carry's playing shit, okay? Just like if you're playing carry, if your support's playing like shit, it doesn't matter. You're playing your role. You're trying to learn your role. Just try your best. Like try to think about like what your role actually does and just play it. It's that simple. You learn it, you get experience, and It's honestly the best tip. Like I'll tell you, like even when I was like in fucking Archon, it was like the same thing. Now I'm in Divine. When I was in Crusader, I started in Herald, man. I got the Crusader for a while. Like I remember in Crusader and Archon, like people do the same shit. Like there's people who have good mental attitudes and win games, and people who have better bad mental attitudes and they lose. This is the same thing in Divine. It's just that it's at a higher skill cap. That's all. People still do the same fucking mistake. People still feed. People still tilt at literally minute zero. Like some people will just be like, "Yo, GG, you didn't pick the right scale." Like when I'm playing fucking Wraith King, like I have supports who if I don't pick my stun level 1 because it's dog shit level 1. It's a 1.1 second stun. This is so much better. It gives you damage, right? Lifesteal, like crits. But if you don't get your stun level 1, they just fucking straight up abandon you and never lane again. And then they will just feed, right? You don't have your stun. They walk up into Clockwork and 2 heroes and they feed and then they TP top because they think that you fucked them up because you didn't stun and save their ass. But you know, people do that kind of shit, and people who do that don't watch these kind of videos. So how do you actually counter that? Always try it. Do not throw. In the past, all of these games, if someone really pisses you off, I mean, flaming is like, it's hard to not flame someone. Just don't go overboard. Just be like, yo, maybe like first time you don't want to flame him, right? You want to tell him, be like, yo, do this in like a calm, mediocre tone. You don't have to be all nice and shit, but at least don't be like toxic right off the bat. Tell them some like, just like, let's say you're like, oh, can you pull or something, right? Just say like, can you pull please? And if they don't listen, say it again. If they just be like, shut the fuck up or something, just you can just mute them and just never talk to them again, right? Or you can tell them what to do, but just mute them. You don't have to listen to what they say, stuff like that. But just don't throw. And if you do really want to flame, like flame when the game is over. And sometimes it's not even worth, because you might just get reports. That's all. Because if you flame when the game's about to end, the first thing they're gonna do is to report you instead of the guy who's actually playing like shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's say this game was like about to end, right? Everyone's gonna report. Wait, not this guy. This game. This game is about to end. Everyone's gonna report this guy. I was actually no, never mind. All right, whatever. But let's say you're playing a game and you about to lose. Everyone's gonna report the feeder, right? But let's say you start flaming right before the game ends. You're like, yo, fuck your spirit. Why the fuck didn't you roll or something? They're just gonna report you because they're just like, oh, this guy played like shit, but this guy said something mean to me right before the game ended, so I'm just gonna fucking report him. So sometimes just like let it go, bro. Not every game is gonna be like this. Just move on. In the past, all of these games, there's not a single one where I have thrown. There's ones I played like shit because I was Zeus. I was actually Zeus mid. This game was pathetic as fuck, but this shaman, I actually flamed the fuck out of him because he went fucking first night in Ags and didn't press Shackle on Alchemist like fucking 5 times mid. But I flamed the shit out of this guy because I already had him pre-muted. I don't care. And I probably got like reports in this game because I also flamed this guy for buying fucking Meteor Hammer. But I also play like shit. But I didn't throw. These guys were AFK. I still played. Just never throw and keep your flame. Try not to flame, you know. Try not to flame. No flame is the best. But if you have to, occasionally, it's okay. Like, because sometimes when you flame a little bit, it actually gets people to do shit. It depends on how you say it. If you just put like straight up fucking insults at their mom or some shit, you're not gonna get anywhere. If you say like can you fucking do something, it actually brings the team to actually work together sometimes. You know, it depends on every player. You have to try out different things. I mean, if you're talking to them nicely, it doesn't work. They're not listening. Maybe try to flame. Maybe they actually listen, right? And if they don't, neither one works. Just stop talking and just let it play out. You know, just let it play out and just play wherever your team goes. If you're saying go Roche, no one fucking comes. If you're saying push top, no one fucking comes. Just let them do whatever the fuck they want, and when something good happens, you show up. When something bad happens, just let them die. That's it. But in all of these games, there's not a single one I actually threw. Where's the last game I actually threw? I didn't even throw this one. My Wi-Fi cut out, but someone in my pan go through, I think. Not sure if I remember. But yeah, essentially, don't ever throw games. Don't AFK jungle. Try your best every game. That's how you're gonna gain MMR. But hope you guys enjoyed the tips, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.